everybody, I have an amazing thing to tell you. Maybe it's not that amazing, but it's interesting. I have never had to replace a battery in any of my games, including this one, which is 30 years old. So this is what I'm going to talk about today, batteries in general, and I'm going to talk about my memories of Phantasy Star 2. So here we go. So what you're looking at is me playing the same Phantasy Star 2 cartridge that I bought in 1990 a long time ago. And my game saves are still on it. Those game saves have been held in memory for 30 years using the same battery. These are game saves that are near the end of the game, and there's 4 slots, and I have a save in each slot. And the characters are still named the way I named them 30 years ago. There's one character in my party named Borg, and I named him after the Star Trek Borg, which was a huge thing at the time of the game's release. In 1989, the Borg were introduced on the Next Generation, and in 1990, they were part of a very famous cliffhanger of Star Trek The Next Generation. Like I said, this game cartridge has a battery in it. This is how saving was done back during this time. The ways of saving that we know and enjoy today, where you can save on the console itself, or in the case of the PlayStation 1, you can save on memory cards. Those things were not affordable yet during the times of the Genesis and the NES. So what they had to do is put a battery on there to maintain your save. It was pretty much the RPGs and the sports games that got save batteries. But talking about the game itself, I still think it holds up very well today. The music is as amazing as I remember it. The dungeons are a little bit too maze-like, I guess. And I've actually forgotten how to play a little bit, so there's one team member that's poisoned, and I can't figure out how to cure her. But anyway, yeah, this game is really held up. The artwork is amazing. It looks like that little guy is photobombing these two. It's a huge game. It came with a 110-page hint booklet. Sadly, sometime over the years, I lost that. There might be other games in my collection that are older than this that have the original batteries in them, and those might still work today, but this is one I know for sure. Most of the other games in my collection, in fact, probably about 99% of them, I bought secondhand. There's no easy way to tell whether or not somebody has changed out the save battery, which is what people can do pretty easily, actually. With all that in mind, it's still puzzling as to why I haven't had to change one single battery in all these hundreds of games that I have. It could be that I'm just not playing that many RPGs anymore. I'm certainly not playing the sports games anymore. At the time, this game cost me around $65 if I remember. Adjusted for inflation, that would be $127. These were the days before I had a job, so I must have gotten my mom to purchase this for me, perhaps for a birthday thing. Maybe I saved up some allowance or something. So let's open up one of these games and see what the battery looks like. I am certainly not going to open up Phantasy Star 2, I just don't want to risk losing that save. So I'm just going to get a sports game out and take it apart here. And it's real easy. You have to get a specialized screwdriver. All you have to do is unscrew 2 of the screws on the back. And then you just take the circuit board out. And there's the battery right there. This is a very common type of battery that's still in production today. It's the CR2032. And it's used for a lot of different things. It's used for key fobs, medical devices like hearing aids, and blood sugar monitors. But most importantly, it holds saves on old cartridges. There's another type of Genesis cartridge made by EA, and these are the ones with the yellow tabs on them. A lot of their sports games also have the battery on the inside. And to take those apart, it's kind of the same way, only that yellow tab makes it a little bit more difficult. You kind of have to pry the cartridge open a little bit and sneak the circuit board out. You can also just remove the yellow tab, and there's the battery for that one. In case you want to see a circuit board that doesn't have a battery, here's a Sonic the Hedgehog one. So what about you guys? Do you have any old games that you know have had batteries that have lasted a very long time? I know this is a low charge battery, but I would not expect it to last 30 years. And the way it's going, it might last another 10 more years. I went to the website of one of the battery manufacturers and they said that this battery has a shelf life of 10 years. And that's pretty amazing when you think about it. Still, there's been a trickle charge inside this game cartridge for 30 years, and I just can't get over that. I think it's amazing. That's pretty much all I had to say. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.